Okay, so good afternoon. Well, no longer morning. Good afternoon, everyone. So I hope you guys enjoyed your coffee break. Yeah. Okay, so I think first and foremost, I thank everybody for your time to actually log in with us. Basically, just to let you guys know what's going to happen. Today is actually our first day. We are doing the what we call PG projects. Today we're going to recommend you different projects every single day from Monday to Friday. Okay, so from Monday to Friday, from today onwards, we're going to showcase different projects that we deem is good, and to actually help you and also your buyers, take a look at what we have to offer. Okay, so every day from Monday to Friday at 4 p.m., we will be showcasing you a project, by actually a ERA preeminent group. So I think today, without further ado, I would like to actually invite Mr. Kelvin Chen. He's going to share with us one of the most affordable project in today's market right now, Kelvin Chen.
Yes,
Yeah.
Alex.
So he's going to
Yes.
showcase this project. So I'm going to let him describe the project to you guys, and hopefully, you guys understand this project a little bit better. And I think without further ado, are we all ready to start? Before we start, if you guys have any questions, we do have a chat box inside. So feel free to ask any questions, and I think Kelvin will do his level best to answer everyone, right? So this session, I think it's created by Preeminent Group, and take it away, Kelvin. All the best.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me share my slide. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Today we're going to talk about Treasure at Tampines. All right. So just a brief introduction of myself. All right. I'm the project DD in charge for Treasure at Tampines. My name is Kelvin. All right. I'm the district division director. I started my real estate industry journey, all right, in 2013, and I start purchasing my private property at the age of 25. So before joining this industry, I was in the banking industry for 8 years. All right, so just some brief background, and this is also my newspaper article and stuff like that. Yeah. So before I start my sharing proper, here is a disclaimer of liabilities. All right, so I do my best to get all the necessary information correct. All right, so just for this particular session is basically for sharing of information only. All right, any reliance will still need you to do your due diligence, of course. All right, so what are the important factors? Okay, what are the important factors when purchasing a private property? All right, as we all know, right? As we all know, it's always what? Location, location, location. All right, so if you agree with me that location is the most important factor, all right, when buying a property, all right, can you go into the chat group and type in one for me, please? All right, because I want to have some interaction. Otherwise, I'll be talking to myself. All right. Wow. Let's see. Wow, a lot of one, a lot of one. Wow, fantastic. All right, you guys all agree that location is the most important factor when purchasing a property. All right, do you want to hear my answer? Actually, my answer, right, is location is not the most important, all right, factor when purchasing a property. The right price, all right, is the single most important factor when purchasing a property. Why I say so? Because, right, only when you enter the right price, okay, then you can plan for your exit strategy. All right. So to me, it's very important to know whether I can make money from this particular property purchase right from the onset. All right, right from the time I buy, not when I sell the property. All right, so buying at the right price is my utmost important. Then secondly is the location. All right, do you guys believe that when the price is right, all right, when a particular property price is right, all right, you don't even need to view the property physically. You don't even need to inspect the property physically. As we know, recently, I mean, of course, we just passed the circuit breaker, but during the circuit breaker, there's a couple of transactions going on, correct? So people are not able to view the physical unit itself. But do you know that there are many transactions that is happening during this circuit breaker? All right. So in your opinion, how much does Singaporean or basically buyers are willing to go in when the price is right? If you think that Singaporean buyers or basically buyers in general buying properties in Singapore do not need to inspect a property and then straight away because of the right price I go in, all right? The right price, all right, property that is worth 1 million, then I can go in. Anything above 1 million, wow, I'm not comfortable. I still must view. Or you think that people can go up to 2 million or 3 million or 4 million or even 5, 6 millions. All right, what is the figure you think that people are willing, or rather buyers are willing to enter, all right, to purchase the property without physically viewing the unit? All right, if you think that 1 million is the answer you key in one, if you think 2 million is the answer you key in two, all right, let's see what's the feedback on the ground like. All right, can I have a feedback, some feedback from you guys? All right, what do you think? Let me see some figures. All right, 1 million, some say 2 million. All right, if the price is right between 1 to 2 million, I no need to view the property. I can just go in and buy because the price is right. All right, I no need to inspect the property. I no need to view the physical property. All right, so yes, a couple more. Wow, okay. Yeah, investor typically because the price is right. Yes. All right. So typically it's about 1 to 2 million. All right. Do you know that you can, someone in Singapore actually purchase a property without viewing, all right, and pay for a good class bungalow at 21.68 million. So guys, 21 million, I can just buy a property without viewing. It's not talking about 1 or 2 million. You know, there's someone who is willing to part their money. All right, so that's how important when the price is right. All right, so you know that once you buy it, you know that you can basically make money. All right, so that is what I'm trying to, you know, bring it across to you. And in fact, during this circuit breaker period, there are many wealthy Singaporean, all right, still interested, all right, in buying Singapore property because they want to spot opportunity and they don't want to waste this crisis. All right, because we all know that you can probably grab, all right, a lot of so-called good values property during, you know, crisis time. All right, so of course today my sharing will be on Treasure at Tampines. All right, I'm going to show you why Treasure at Tampines is selling at the right price. Okay, at the right price and at the right location as well. All right, basically as a home buyer or as an investor, okay, you have two options. All right, when you want to shop for a property, basically it's always either what, new launch residential or resale residential. All right, of course, you know, both sides, there are always pros and cons. It really depends on what you are looking at. All right, but one thing for sure, all right, one common thing is that, all right, when you buy a property, whether is it new launch or resale, you buy the property currently. All right, you buy it at now. All right, so you enter into the market right now. The only difference is that you actually what, in terms of the completion. All right, for new launch, typically it will take about 3 to 4 years times for the property to be completed. And the payment is on progressive basis. All right, whereas for the resale, right, typically 3 to 4 months or maybe even 6 months. All right, so I would say that for homeowners who really wants to stay in a property urgently, then yes, maybe you probably have no option but to choose resale because you need a house urgently. But for people, right, for buyers, homeowners, or even investor who are thinking that, you know, I can still wait, I have time to wait, probably I buy into a new launch, all right, and I wait for it to complete. Why? Because, you know, it's brand new. Firstly, I save a lot on renovation costs. And then the main thing is that because the payment is on progressive payment, so my initial cash outlay is not a lot. And then it's not so, in my opinion, for investors, not so taxing. Right? Why I say so? Because, for example, if today I have a 1 million budget, all right, I did some computation. All right, I have a 1 million budget. If today I want to go in between new launch and resale, stamp duty is a must. All right, I cannot change. All right, so I have to pay stamp duty. All right, so that's the only difference is that because I don't collect my keys, all right, so I do not need to pay what? Property tax. I do not need to pay my maintenance fee. So these two, basically, I do not need to pay. All right. And because my monthly installment, all right, will be on a progressive basis. Because why? All right, the new launch, right, you only pay progressively based on the construction progress. All right, so if it's called for the foundation work, then you pay for the foundation work, which is 10%. If it calls for the framework, if it calls for the car park or whatever, then you just pay it accordingly. So progressively, the bank will only charge interest on progressive basis as well. All right, so if I take a 75% bank loan and I pay it progressively, so on a annualized basis, on average, interest is about $300 I'm paying. Whereas for resale, right? Whereas for resale, because within 3 to 4 months, I collect my key, 100% loan is dispersed and I need to service the monthly installment. So it's a full payment. So therefore, my interest averagely is about 1,200. All right, good and bad, because why I say resale, definitely you can rent it out. All right, but depending on how old is the property, you probably have to spend some renovation or minor repair fees, or probably there's also a chance where once the lease is up, all right, if let's say there's no renewal, probably there's some gaps in terms of the rental that you're going to receive. So for new launch, as an investor, it allows me to have a very little cash outflow. All right, so if I base on the my cash outflow component, my break-even cost is definitely lower for new launch as compared to resale. I mean, coming from an investor point of view, coming from a new homeowner, probably you have to weigh the pros and cons. All right, so that's the reason why for the next 2 months, every day we'll be touching on new launches, and we're going to tell you why new launches for different particular project, all right, suits you. All right, so just get some exercise going on. All right, basically this is a report that I pulled out from a DBS research report. All right, basically if developer today wants to sell you a certain pricing, all right, what would be their consideration? All right, so definitely if I want to price as a certain product, once I want to price a pricing at a certain location, basically what I'll need to do, right? I need to factor in the land cost, my construction cost, all this costing, right? Before I can come up with the pricing, right? For example, today a developer purchased a land cost at 1,000, all right, and want to sell it at 1,007, all right, in the market. How much do you think the developer will make from this launch price of 1,007? If you think that the net margin after tax is below 10%, all right, kindly just write 10 for me. If you think that the net margin after tax is between 10 to 20%, can you type in 20 for me? And if you think that it's 30% onwards, then you just type in 30 for me. All right, I just want to get a feel on the ground, all right? Yeah, especially if let's say buyer is listening right now, probably you can let me know what is your feel. If a land cost is at 1,000, developers sell it at 1,007, what is their profit margin like, all right, after tax? Right, probably you can key in the figure. If you think that it's 30% profit margin and above, you key in 30 for me. All right, if you think that it's 20, all right, then you key in 20 for me. All right, so on and so forth. All right, can I have some feedback from the ground, please? All right, Malik saying it's 30%. All right, Jasper is saying 15%. Tony is 25. All right, thank you so much for your feedback. Oh, a lot of 20%. Very good. Oh, 20, 20, 20. All right, a lot of y'all think that is 20%, yeah? All right, let me share with you. If today the land cost is at 1,000, all right, developer launch it at 1,007, $700 PSF difference. Actually, the net margin is only what? The net margin for the developer is only 8.3% after tax. Why is it so? All right, I think you might be very curious. Okay, so later on, I'm going to show you why. Because the developer needs to minus off what? The development cost, all right, the financing cost, and the tax payable to the government. All right, what are the total development costs? All right, basically over here, you can see that construction cost, all right, on the average basis is 300 PSF. So you look at on your left or on your right, basically, you'll see that medium quality construction, all right, it's costing in the range of 250 to 315. So by putting in $300 PSF, I think it's fair because it's of medium quality. If for higher end development in probably in the CCR region, probably they have spent more money on the quality. Luxury quality will cost you easily about 500 PSF. So that is the kind of difference when developer want to price a certain product. All right, not forgetting that they also need to take care of the what? Professional fees, the sales and marketing. Professional fees like what? Architectural fee, landscaping fee. Sales and marketing like what? They need to build what? They need to build a show flat. They need to advertise, you know, on the newspaper, on the radio, on the bus, on the MRT. You know, they need to sell it out to the consumer as well. And then of course, like you and me, all right, the developer don't pay 100% in cash. The developer also take a bank loan, all right, and to finance the land purchase as well as their construction, all right, cost. So all this actually all adds up. So if you know that, if you realize the total cost of development refinancing is 1529. So that means this is the break-even cost for the developer. So that means 1,000 is the land cost, 529 is the construction cost. All right. If I launch it at 1,007, then my net margin for the developer, my net margin after tax will only be 8.3%, less than 10%. All right, so this is very important information and I want everyone to take note of this, all right? So at the same time, probably you can do your own maths in the future, yeah? All right, so of course, Treasure at Tampines. So because today we're talking about Treasure at Tampines and I believe Treasure at Tampines is at the right price, all right? So firstly, we need to know what, of course, based on the earlier exercise, we need to know the land cost, all right? The land cost, all right, how does the land cost derive? Basically, all right, they actually need to do two things, okay? One is the purchase of the land. Secondly is that they need to top up the differential. Thirdly, they need to what? Pay for the differential premium for enhancing the intensity, all right, of the land. So all in all, it actually works out to be 676 PSF, all right? So do you know that before the cooling measure, government has this called development charge in place, all right? This is something like a cooling measure mechanism, right, that the government introduced to what? To calm the en bloc. All right, why? Because when the en bloc fever is high, they will increase their development charge, right, to reduce the demand or the appetite for the developer when they go in and bid for the land. All right. So as you can see, I bring you back earlier. Sorry, Treasure at Tampines, the land cost. The land is purchased in 2017. It's actually still in the early days of an en bloc craze. All right, en bloc fever. So that's why the land price is so attractive at 676. All right, so once they bid, unfortunately, you know, as you can see the date September, all right, the government actually increased the development charge. So what is the impact to the developer? All right, basically for Treasure at Tampines, which is the former Tampines Court, all right, the land cost, the break-even land cost become what? 1204. All right, that's about a 2% increase due to the increase of the development charge. All right, so right now we can see, all right, this is a newspaper, sorry, this is a DBS research report that I pulled out. So basically, this is their estimation of estimated break-even price for Treasure at Tampines, okay? So of course, we all know that Simlian is actually a builder themselves, all right? Maybe they can lower down the construction cost because they don't have so much third-party cost, and probably at that same time, their break-even price might be there about, you know, as what we indicated, 1204. All right, so land cost at 676. Just now, the earlier article, the construction cost was 529. All right, but because for this one it's 528 because the estimated break-even price is 1204 based on the research report. All right, so we just take it as good 1204. So if today I want to think like a developer, all right, if today I want to price it at a 10% profit margin before tax, before tax, I want to price it at a profit margin at 10%. What is the kind of PSF that I need to sell, you know, in the market? All right, again, what is the amount that I want to price it when I want to place a 15% profit, a 20% profit, up to 40% profit margin, right? So this is the mindset of a developer. So if today I want to earn 40%, definitely this development, I need to price it at 1686 PSF, okay? So how much is Treasure at Tampines selling? Okay. All right. Treasure at Tampines is selling on an average basis 1352. Okay. What does 1352 means? All right. It means that the developer is pricing this average selling price, selling this development, all right, at an average of below 15% profit margin. Well, this is really very low. Why I say that? All right, because typically for developer, when they want to price in a certain launch price, okay, their average their average profit margin is always between 20 to 30%. All right, on an average 20 to 30%. But for treasure, it's actually below 15%. All right, so to me, I think, all right, if any project, right, that is below the average of 20 to 30%, that means below the 20% profit margin that most of the developer wants to make, all right, then I will ask my buyer to buy already. All right, then I will ask my buyer these three letter words, MTL. Right, it means 卖涂料. All right, for our non-Chinese friend is don't wait. All right, wait no more. Basically, you need to go in and buy already because it's already below the average profit margin that the developer wants to earn. All right, and as you can see, it's really very close. If let's say today I want to do it after tax, probably the net profit margin is less than 10%. So that's how attractive the development pricing is. Okay, so if today I would like to ask you all, right, if you want to buy something, okay, today you spot an opportunity, right, that you can buy a property in the central area, all right, the same price as the west area, right, the same price as the west area. Which one would you choose? A central property or a west area property? All right, of course, to me, I will buy central, right? Central is better location, correct or not? All right, so I think I believe many of y'all would also agree with me, all right? So Tampines, for treasure at Tampines, all right, is located somewhere around the central area, all right? So better location as compared to the Tapestry, which is located in the Tampines west side, okay? So as you can see, you are buying similar price. So in my opinion, if you can get something, so centrally located and, at the same price as west, right? Then I think it shows something. You don't even need to calculate like all the profit margin and things like that. You know that is what attractive already. All right. So this is like a double confirm. All right. Someone actually put in the chat group saying that this low margin, is it completed by the large number of units developer has on hand? Sorry, is it complemented? No. Basically, right, this of course, basically, the developer, when they come into the pricing time, when they want to do their pricing strategy, right, the number of units definitely will be a part of the consideration, right? The key thing is that later on I will touch on why the developer does that. Right. Secondly, is that because there is more units for sale, all right, even if I have a low profit margin, right, because I can sell by volume basis, okay, then it's been, I won't I still can make a decent profit out of selling the whole development. So in a way, right, by charging little, all right, it's good for the consumer because consumer benefit, but at the same time the developer will still benefit because they are able to sell a larger volume. So it's a win-win situation. All right, the developer and the buyer also win. All right, so that's very, very important. Okay, and like what I mentioned, all right, this is the Tampines map. As you can see, it's flanked by KPE, TPE, and PIE. So it's very well connected. And in the last 10 to 15 years, if you are a buyer in the Tampines region, if you have been staying in the Tampines region, you probably know that in the last 10 to 15 years, most of the development is actually situated in the Tampines West area. So like what I mentioned, Tapestry is along Tampines Avenue 10. All right, if you walk to the regional center, it's really quite far. And of course, Treasure being at the bottom of the screen, all right, Treasure at Tampines, it's very close to the central, the Tampines Regional Center. So we call it the Tampines Central area. And of course, Tampines also have Tampines East. So you can see, you're buying somewhere, the central location, but at the same price as Tampines West. So in a way, the pricing is already very attractive. So that's why I think a lot of people also realized that, a lot of buyers also realized that. That's why for Treasure at Tampines is the best selling project for the whole year of 2019. In fact, all right, it also the best selling development, private development in Q1 2020 as well. All right, so in the same article in The Age, which also appears on the Straits Times, I pull out the top 10 best selling projects. All right, Treasure at Tampines being the number one best selling project in the whole year. Park Esta came in second, followed by Florence. All right, as you can see the region over here. All right, next to the wording, next to the project name, OCR, RCR. All right, so for those who are not so familiar, especially the buyer, actually Singapore is break into three main regions. All right, first region is what we call CCR. All right, CCR is Core Central Region. Right, then followed by RCR. Okay, RCR is what we call Rest of Central Region, basically city fringe. All right, okay, city fringe. And lastly, OCR, outside of Central Region. All right, so basically we can see the top 10 best selling project in December. All right, there's one particular project, all right, that is one of the best selling, is in CCR, okay, which is One Holland Village. Is located in Holland Village. It's in CCR location, Core Central Region. You can see that the price, the median price that they are selling for is 2,768. And if you look below, Treasure at Tampines, which is the OCR region, 1,378 on the median price in the month of December. What does it mean? Right? It means that, you know, if you want to buy One Holland Village, you can. You have to probably pay double the price because the PSF is double. All right, so in Singapore, Core Central Region is the most expensive, followed by RCR, and then followed by OCR. All right, so if you can see for RCR, Park Esta is at 1,006. That's why it's very attractive. And then followed by Jadescape, 1,007. At Sterling Residence, also a RCR project, is close to 1,009. Avenue South is 2,000. So you can see that for RCR project is typically above 1,006 already. All right. And for OCR, you can see it's very closely related. What we can see is Park Botania, the one is in the green box. All right, about the same price. Okay, so maybe we will investigate further. All right, Park Botania, for those who don't know, all right, they are located in Sengkang, but it's in what? Sengkang West. Okay, West again, it's a far end of Sengkang. All right, so the land cost, you can do a research. All right, the land cost is at 517. All right, if I base on the construction cost, just now we mentioned, remember the DBS research report, if we put it at 529, all right, given the same construction cost, all right, that means the estimated break-even cost for Park Botania is at $1,046. All right, so if I base on the average selling price that they indicated, so you will know that for this particular developer, the net margin after tax is more than 20%. All right, so that's why for Treasure at Tampines, if you look at the net margin, it's actually below, after tax, it's below 10%. Right, so it's really very, very attractive. Even though you're selling almost at the same PSF, but you can see that actually, the developer is actually earning lesser. And in my opinion, Tampines is in a better location than Sengkang. All right, probably later on I'll justify the reason why. All right, so almost at the same price. All right, but one is earning below 10% and one is earning more than 20%. All right, so remember just now my earlier statement, typically for developer, they will want to earn a profit margin of about 20 to 30%. All right, so from this particular chart, you will realize two things. All right, one, Treasure at Tampines, their profit margin is very low. So that means there are not much profit margin to play around. All right, if they want to reduce the price, they will probably have to think triple hard, because there are not much margin to play already. Okay, so two is that because they are selling so low, all right, once the whole development is selling very well, all right, then they will have a lesser supply. All right, definitely the developer will then increase the price to what? To the normal range of the 20 to 30%. All right, when the developer do that, all right, progressively increasing the price, what does it mean? It also means that as an earlier buyer, all right, you get to benefit when the developer increase the price. right? So that's why it's always important to look at the numbers, all right? Then you will know, and you will know what is the so-called risk involved in investing in a property development, okay? And of course, unfortunately, COVID-19 came, right? It's one of the big, disruptor of the whole economy, all right? Circuit breaker came in on the 7th of April. We all know that. And unfortunately, it was extended till 1st of June. Even now, we are out of the circuit breaker, all right? We are still in phase one. So there are still some restriction, all right? So basically, this COVID is really a big distractor, and there's a lot, of course, a lot of the not so good news, going on. So as an investor, even actually I invest in treasure. So as an investor, I would think that, wow, will the developer drop price or not? Because for normal developer, which is pricing at an average profit of 20 to 30%, they just need to drop another 5% to move the sale, no problem. But for a developer, that is already having so little profit margin, can they still drop? Can lah, not say cannot, right? They can still drop. So I also worried as an earlier investor, all right? So, but do you know that sales, do you make a guess how much, or rather how many units has been sold just in the month of May? Just in the month of May. Make a guess. If you think that 10 units were sold in treasure, all right, during this circuit breaker where people cannot leave out of the house to view show flat, cannot go out of the house to view the physical property, all right, and they are still buying the property, all right, make a guess how many units were sold, all right, in the month of May alone, okay, in the month of May alone, all right. I got what, 25, I got 28, I got, wow, 35, wow, 35 means what? 35 means more than one unit a day leh. Wow, so confident. Yeah, all right. Okay, so basically, do you know that the number of units sold just in the month of May alone, right, is 56 units, all right? 56 units was sold in the month of May. If such a big distractor, something like a COVID, all right, cannot dampen the sale of this particular project, I don't know. I don't know what else can, and maybe you can help me think of it. I don't know what else can. So I think with this, right, I think it only shows me one thing, all right. Post-circuit, I'm very, very sure, all right, that the price will increase because people are still buying without physically viewing the property, without going down to the show flat, all right. People are still buying, all right, and more than one unit are sold in a single day. So as you that's why you can say that, if the price is really so attractive, if the price is right, the market, right, the market demand don't lie, all right, the statistic don't lie, people will still generally go ahead with their purchase, all right. So this is a positive statement. And actually, ask your ERA agent in the month of June, right? Today we are what, on the 9th, right? On the 9th of June. Guess how many units we already sold for Treasure at Tampines? All right, we actually sold close to 16 units. Again, more than one unit a day. So that's how hot this particular project is, okay? And if today you think that, okay, I don't want to buy Treasure, all right, I want to buy something else, right? Can you still buy upcoming new developments, all right, at the similar pricing? Okay, so basically, how do I know whether will we sell similar pricing in the future for other developments, right? If all the developments today, all the developer thinks that I want to just charge 10% profit margin, all right, that's the constant. The variable will be what? The land cost, correct? Right, so land cost plus construction cost, net profit margin, then I will base on my selling price. All right, so not forgetting that, so I list down a whole list for you. Okay, so not forgetting that after July 2018, okay, the government actually introduced a cooling measure. I remember on what? So that means on the land that the developer, when they buy, there will be a additional 5% tax that they need to pay. All right, it's non-remissible. So when I factor in, right, that means the land cost will be more expensive. So when I factor in, all right, Treasure at Tampines land cost is 676. All right, Phoenix Height is at 583. Can you buy something other than Treasure at Tampines in the upcoming months? Yes, you can. You can buy somewhere in Choa Chu Kang area, Bukit Panjang. Basically, Phoenix Height is in the Bukit Panjang, Choa Chu Kang area. You can buy, all right? And what are the other land that you can consider, right? There will be Canberra. Canberra is somewhere between Yishun and Sembawang, okay? So other than that, whatever investment that you're going to make in the future will be at a higher pricing already, all right? So because Treasure is already at a very low profit margin of 10%, okay? So you still have option, but the options are pretty limited. And in my opinion, is that Tampines is in a much better location than Choa Chu Kang. No offense to people who are staying in the West, but later on I'll show you why the location is also better, okay? And of course, Treasure, if I want to compare with the upcoming EC, all right, why I want to compare with upcoming EC, I just want to double confirm, triple confirm. All right, why EC? Because as we all know, right, buying an EC, what? Sure make money, right? Correct or not? All right, sure make money. Who say so? Minister Koh Boon Wan say so. Because they say that whoever buy EC, right, it's just like buying a car, a Lexus car at a Toyota price. So you sure make money. So I want to compare how attractive Treasure is, all right, to the upcoming EC, all right, based on just land cost, all right. So you can see, all right, after factoring the 5% non-remissible ABSD, all right, so you can see there is one particular land parcel which is zoned in Tampines Avenue 10. So it's again Tampines West area, Tampines West area, Tampines Treasure at Tampines is the Tampines Central. So EC in the Tampines West area, the land cost is at 607. Yes, you can still buy something cheaper in Tampines, all right? The land cost is about 10%, right? So 10% you still can get, but this 10% gap is a very important information for me. Why I say so? Because in another newspaper article, all right, Treasure land, all right, basically for private land versus EC land, usually there's a gap of 20 to 30%. But this time around, Treasure land is only what? 10% gap. And not forgetting, Treasure is in the central area and the upcoming EC is in the west area. All right, so it's already at a very, very attractive pricing for Treasure. So you can see, all right, numbers basically don't lie. All right, so in order to invest in EC, there are a lot of restrictions. So I'm not too sure whether you guys are familiar. All right, so basically EC as a private owner, they cannot buy an EC. All right, they can only buy if they sell off their private development and wait out for 30 months. Okay, and then after they make the purchase, they need to see the construction finishes, which typically take about 3 or even 4 years. All right, after that, collect the keys. They must make sure they stay inside for the next 5 years. So these are some of the restrictions that the government impose when you buy EC. Yes, EC you sure make money, but EC you have a time frame restriction. So a typical construction of 3 to 4 years plus a minimum 5 years at MOP. All right, that's about 8-9 years time frame. If you still want to sell off your private in order to buy EC, wow, that is like a good 10 years time frame, a decade. No? So to me, time is also money. So you are able to buy in a private without all these restrictions. All right. So you know that developer is really pricing it at a low profit margin. Okay. And then you are able to buy, something so close to an EC price. And in fact, if today you miss Treasure, right, you probably, have to purchase somewhere else at a higher cost already. All right. Based on the land cost. All right. So the other thing I want to point out, all right, price is really right. Okay. Then what about who is the developer? Right, I want to know why is it important to know who's the developer? Right, basically, you want to know whether the developer will complete the project or not. Am I right or not? Right, because even though Singapore is really very rare, you still see those smaller developer, all right, going bankrupt, not able to complete the property. All right, if you have seen the newspaper article, I think about 3 to 4 years back, there are cases like that right? But it's basically the small time developer building those boutique project, and it's really very messy for the buyer. So buying from a reputable developer, knowing the developer track record is also very important. And Simlian, all right, started in 1976, so almost 40 over here history. All right, so you are relatively safe. All right, and then you also know their finished product, because along the 40 years they have built many projects, so you will know of their standard. If their standard is no good, basically, you know, you and me know that they cannot survive. Any developer, their track record is no good, they cannot survive in Singapore. So that's how safe, buying a property in Singapore is, because of the due diligence done by our BCA. All right. So on top of that, I want to let you take note of certain things. I want to zoom in a little deeper. All right. What is the developer profile and the developer pricing strategy? Right. Some of the developer, they want to price it at the maximum profit margin, and they leave very little meat behind. All right. Some developer, they will Simlian, they will start low, and then progressively they will increase the price. So why? Because once they increase the price, they also earn more. And at the same time, the developer, right, also reward the earlier buyer, because when the developer increase the price, the whole development valuation went up, right? And earlier buyer would benefited, right? So it's a win-win situation, right? So I actually did a more detailed study into the developer pricing strategy. All right, so these are some of the, later on I will show you, these are some of the transaction history, all right, that the development is built by Simlian. All right, Lincoln Resident is located in CCR. They even built project in CCR, not just OCR. All right, so Lincoln Resident is a boutique development, less than 100 units. So as you can see, buyers bought in 2009. All right, they just need to hold up less than a year, as you can see from the very first one. All right, and then they can make a very good profit margin of 43%. All right, likewise for the next few transactions, all right, hold slightly more than a year, and they still can make a decent profit of 20 over percent. On the average, it's about close to 20%. All right, of course, people who buy in properties in 2009, seriously, you close two eyes, you basically will earn, correct? But this is the speed that the developer allows you to earn, because it's like they don't really price it max for you. All right, so if you think that this is not a very good example, all right, because you are buying it something like at the bottom, all right, then maybe I'll show you another one. Helian Residence, also another development built by Simlian. All right, as you can see, the buyers actually bought almost at the market peak. As we all know, that market peaks when third quarter 2013. All right, for Helian Residence, the buyer, as you can see, bought in April, which is second quarter 2013. So even buying at the highest point in time and selling almost 4 years later, which is also possibly at the lowest point in time. All right, so you can see, all right, even like that, all right, buyers are still able to make money. All right, so it's a really very good track record, because if you go and find any other development, all right, go and buy projects, or you go and buy resale, buying at the peak and selling at the bottom, all right, got investment property let you make money, So Helian Residence, built by Simlian will allow the buyers to actually make profit. So that's how important knowing the developer pricing strategy is. All right, so it's very crucial. And the other thing, I want to bring it closer to Tampines. So Punggol also next to Tampines. So you can see, typically buying at 2011, selling at 4 years later, you still can enjoy a good, annualized return of about 5%. Right? So it's very healthy. The track record is actually there. All right. And I want to bring you back to Tampines. All right. Waterview is in Tampines and it's built by Simlian. So you can see on the annualized return is also about 4 to 5% on average. All right, so 2012 go in, 3 years later, 4 years later, sell away, and an annualized return of 4%, 5%. All right, there's even one at 6.8%. So you can see that the track record for the developer is there. All right, pricing strategy, you are buying something at very, very low cost, all right? Buying a central property at west pricing, so you know that the pricing is very attractive, and then you know that now buying this product, is really, people who buy Siemens product can really make money, right? So the statistic has shown, all right, more than 100 transactions are there, all right? So basically, to me, numbers are very important, and numbers don't lie, all right? So that's why I hope by now you understand the pricing is very attractive. All right. So sidetrack a little bit. All right. As you know, do you all know that these two flags, which country? All right. One is Singapore, lah. The other one is what? The other one is what? Indonesia, right? I hope you all know the flag. All right. So when I actually talk to my Indonesian client, I talk to them, I go Indonesia as well. Right? I talk to them, hey, I ask you all maybe, which country is more crowded? All right, which country is more crowded? All right, one is Singapore and the other one is in Indonesia. Which country is more crowded? Can I have some feedback from the ground? What do you think? You think that Singapore is more crowded, or you think that Indonesia is more crowded? All right, I got one answer. Indonesia is more crowded. Singapore is more crowded. All right, any more answer? Per land size is Singapore. All right, Singapore. Wow, a lot of people commented Singapore is more crowded. Wow, Singapore. Of course, Singapore. Of course, Singapore. Why? Why Singapore is more crowded? Because you see, for Indonesia, right, they are the fourth largest in terms of population. They are the most populated country in the whole world, the fourth most populated country in the whole world. Why Indonesia is not the most crowded? All right, Singapore density is very high. All right, or because Indonesia got big land, all right, widely spread. Okay, so Indonesia is not so crowded. Singapore is more crowded. Okay, you see, Singapore population is like what, close to 5.9 million. All right, and Indonesia is 207, almost 274 million. Oh, Singapore is only what, not even 6 million. Oh, but Indonesia is 274. That is like almost what, 40 times more than Singapore in terms of the population. But why many of y'all think that Singapore is more crowded, not Indonesia, man? 40 times, because what? Because we know the land size, right? You all know that the land size, Singapore land size is smaller, right? Indonesia, the land size is bigger. So if I work it out, the density, all right, density, Indonesia is less dense than Singapore. Am I right or not? So you don't just look at numbers. You don't just look at the population. Am I right or not? You don't just look at the total numbers, all right, in the country. You look at the land size as well. All right. So today, I also want to show you something. All right. Where is Treasure? All right. As we all know, Treasure is 2,200 units. Then people were like, wow, correct or not? You look in this map in Tampines alone. All right. See, you see, this is Treasure at Tampines. Okay, you see the land size? And then I take the most three recent the most recent projects in Tampines, which is Santorini, followed by Alps, followed by Tapestry, right? So I take these three as a comparison. Okay, so you can see for this cluster, you can see a lot of projects in this cluster, whereas for Tampines, you can see for Treasure in this cluster, all right, there's not many, there's no private development. Okay, that's one. All right, so which development is more crowded? Okay, so I take the site area, all right, divided by the total number of units. All right, so then I will know whether which project is more crowded, right? Correct. So I'll know the density. All right, so that means for every one unit, right, it's sitting on 27.36 square meter. All right, in other words, if I calculate like that. All right, but for Tapestry, all right, even though it has lesser unit, 800 units, but because of the land size, that means for every unit, it sits on a smaller plot of land, 25 square meter only. All right, so Tapestry is actually more dense than Treasure. That means it's more expensive. Alps Residence, same thing. Technically, it's actually more crowded. Santorini as well. Even if I add up these three together, the land size, all right, you can see, all right, it's still more dense. So that means Treasure at Tampines is not as crowded as what many people seem just by looking at the number. Like what you do earlier, you don't look at the population number and then think that, Indonesia is more crowded. You will know, you will want to compare versus the land size. So it's the same. All right. And the other thing I want to point out with that, if today you buy a unit in Treasure at Tampines versus you buy a unit in Tampines West, all right, you can see there's a cluster over here. Easily, all right, you have 7 projects, all right, which have a total number of units of 4,500, right? So that's how much competition you will have. Because next time you want to buy a unit, you want to rent it out, or you want to do a resale, right? You probably want to sell it to someone, all right? And that someone most likely, all right, even for me, when I go for buying in that a resale unit, I will don't just stop at one project. Right? Next door, there's another project, I'll just go and visit because it's just side by side, all right? So same thing, the whole competition around this area is 4,500. And the other one I want to point out to you is that you see this Q Bay residence and this Santorini and then this Tapestry, all right? You see, every project only have one exit, all right? One exit, one entrance, correct? Same thing for Santorini and same thing for Q Bay, all right? And they are sitting along this Tampines Street 86, okay? So if I compare these three, Q Bay, Santorini, and Tapestry, the total number of units is already about 2,000. You can add up, all right? And if you're very familiar with that area, you will realize that this is a one-way street, okay? This is a one-way street, the highlighted one, okay? This is a one-way street, all right? If you want to go back, you need to make a U-turn somewhere around here. Right? If you want to travel to another road, so there's a traffic light here, there's a traffic light here before you turn out. So you can see, all right, 3 units adds up together is about 2,000 and they are using this one-way direction, okay? And all the units comes with one entrance and exit point, all right? So, of course, that's just one. 2, I also want to break down into the figures, all right? As you can see, when my buyers was asking me, hey, 1 bedroom can buy or not? You know, they was telling me, hey, 2,200 units, but it's not 2,200 units of 1 bedroom. So if I break down into figures, then you can see that actually for 1 bedroom for Treasure, right, is actually undersupply. Even for the 1 plus study, even for the 2 bedroom, the 2 plus study as well. You see the 2 bedroom, 2 plus study, you add up, right? All right, it's still about this. It's still about there. It's still lesser. All right, this is a comparison of only 3 projects. Along that area, it's basically you have 7. So definitely you have more competition as compared to Treasure at Tampines. All right. So I pull out the same, because typically in Singapore, if you want to understand, private properties are built in cluster. Very seldom you will find a plot of land, you know, surrounding you. There's no private property, you know, in competition. So if today I pull out in Pasir Ris, so you can see for Pasir Ris Grove, all right, those who are very familiar with Pasir Ris, you will know that this Pasir Ris Grove is also a small road, all right? All you add up together is also a total number of units, 4,500, all right? And if you want to take a route to Expressway, okay, do you know that you have to go out from Pasir Ris Grove, make a U-turn at Pasir Ris Drive 8, okay, and then before you hit Expressway. So here you got 1 traffic light, all right? So same thing, all the projects basically over here, like for example, Dines, you have 1 exit, the Palette, you have 1 exit, MV Resident, you have 1 exit as well. So you can see typically projects are only having 1 entrance exit. I also pull up another map, Flora Drive nearby also, all right, near in Pasir Ris, but in Loyang area. All right, so same thing, Flora Drive. All right, so you can see the road over here, all right, that I highlighted. All right, so Carissa Park 1 entrance, Ferraria Park 1 entrance, Palm Out 1 entrance, Park Olympia 1 entrance. Same thing for Flora, Hedges Park. All right, but they're all using this route, Flora Drive. And if you want to go to Expressway, same thing, you need to travel all the way up. Down here, there's a traffic light. You come out, down here, there's a traffic light. It's a huge cross junction some say it's quite dangerous. Right? Alternatively, you go from here, there's another traffic light here, another traffic light here. So you can see there's always traffic light, and there are so many units that serving just along Flora Drive route. Right, along Flora Drive route already more than 3,500 units. So you can see, it's not just the competition within, but also the surrounding. And if you talk about the traffic flow, it's much worse than Treasure. So a lot of people, when they just look at the number and then they tell me, oh, Treasure is very crowded now, then I'll always have this image one. I simply don't understand. Right? Because when I zoom in further, right, then I realize actually it's not as crowded as it seems. Just like it's not as crowded as Indonesia population seems. All right, Singapore is more densely populated. All right. So Treasure at Tampines, if you know where Treasure at Tampines is, all right, it's very conveniently located because on the right, all right, there's this famous round market where you can do the web marketing, all right, where you can actually get local food delight at a very affordable pricing. You don't even need to walk very far, just downstairs, there's a 24 hours NTUC fair price for you. And on the other side, all right, you have this beautiful butterfly park, which is like a garden for you. All right, for you to walk your dog, do your morning stroll, evening stroll, walk around with your parents or even yourself, So, and I want to point out is that there will be a new route called Tampines Lane, all right? So your address is very different, all right, from the rest of the other projects in Tampines, all right? So it's unique by itself. It's called Tampines Lane. In my opinion, it's more atas lah. All right, so one and only, nobody else, because the rest are all Tampines Avenue or Tampines Street. All right, and the other thing I want to point out is that you will have two main entrance and exit point. All right, so from here, right, basically you have four other ways. All right, so one way you use Tampines Lane, straight away you will hit the slip route. All right, no traffic light here, easy access for you to go to PIE, whether is it PIE Changi or PIE Tuas, where you will hit CBD area within the next 25 minutes. Changi Airport maybe in about 5-6 minutes, all right? So alternatively, you come up from here, all right? You take the Tampines Street 11 to go to the Tampines West area. Alternatively, the traffic flow, you can even exit from here, all right? And then you go to the Tampines Central area. So you have many exit points or as compared to the rest of the earlier projects or development cluster that I show you. In Singapore, I can pull up many more. So if you are currently staying in a private development in a cluster, you will know what I mean. All right, so it's very unique by itself. All right, it's not as populated. All right, and if you know, right, 60% of this land is zoned for communal. All right, it's zoned for communal area and landscaping. So only 40% is for building. Right, so you have a lot of space involved in Treasure at Tampines. All right, so if I zoom out a little bit, so as you can see, within the 1 kilometer radius, all right, you cannot find any private development. No private development on site to fight against you. All right, whether you want to resell it in the future or whether you want to rent it out in the future. Renting is very convenient. Why I say so? Because you have 3 MRT, all right, within walking distance. Okay, you have the Simei MRT, which is about 6 to 8 minutes walk, depending on your walking speed. All right, you can even walk to Tampines West downtown line. All right, you can even walk to Tampines Central. All right, which is about 14 minutes. All right, over here, it's very convenient. Why? Because you have the Tampines Mall, Century Square, and Tampines 1. All right, 3 big shopping mall side by side. I think maybe you want to name me a town that has 3 shopping mall side by side. Very hard to think, right? Because not many don't have actually. The only one I can think of is Jurong East. All right. So otherwise, most of the major matured town, you don't have 3 shopping mall. But for Treasure at Tampines, within 15 minutes, you can walk to the 3 shopping malls, and the malls are not repeated. Basically, they're complementing one another, and you have 3 different supermarkets to go to. All right. And of course, not forgetting, you have this our Tampines hub or our East Point Mall. All right, so really very convenient. And like I mentioned, you don't even need to walk very far. All right, just downstairs you have this 24 hours NTUC and the famous Round Market. And this is the new road that they're going to build existingly don't have. So you can see straight away I come out, I will hit the expressway. Very fast, very convenient. As I mentioned, all right, you can either go to the Tampines Central area or you can go to the Tampines West area. All right, so ease of traffic flows. All right, and being big is very good. Why I say so? All right, do you know that as I mentioned, 60% of the land is zoned for communal and landscaping. Even for the clubhouse is 2,200 square meter. It's not square feet, it's square meter. You have 9 function room. All right, you have a gym which is 24 hours, and the gym itself, right, is 240 square meter. It's huge, you know how big. All right, a typical 5-room HDB, 5-room HDB, it's about 120 square meter, right? All right, so 120 square meter you times 2, so 2 size of HDB 5-room flat, you know, that's how big the gym is, and it's 24 hours, which is very rare in Singapore private condominium, because typically they have until 10 and things like that. All right, so and 13 swimming pool. So I always joke with my buyers, every day you buy a unit, every day you stay right in, right, you swim one unit, you swim one pool, you take one pool, you choose, you swim one, 1 week you cannot finish, right? So that's how many pools they have in the area. All right, again, 12 barbecue pit, 128 facilities. On top of that, they still give you a 1-year free shuttle bus service to Tampines MRT and Changi Airport, right? So you can see it's really, you know, very good, you know, for you to use the facilities, for you to travel, you know, for you to commute and things like that. And guess what? What is the maintenance fee? All right. All right, so we don't have much time, so I just break it down for you. All right, the 1 bedroom only starts from $150. So you can see being big is good because there's economy of scale. You enjoy more, all right, you enjoy more landscaping, more facilities, and the maintenance fee, it's very affordable. All right, very, very low. All right, for a 3-bedroom, it's only at $180. All right, so again, now you know that the pricing is so attractive. Now you know that Treasure is so attractive. What about the bigger picture of Tampines? All right, so quickly, Tampines is a matured town. All right, why matured town is important? Because the schools, the transportation networks, the amenities, all right, it's very established. So staying there, it's very, very convenient. Secondly, is the 3rd most populated town. Why is it important? All right, the top most populated town is in Bedok, beside Tampines. All right, the 2nd most populated town is Jurong East, and then followed by Tampines. Tampines is the 3rd. Why is it important? Because if you want to resell it in the future, there is a steady pool of, you know, demand from here, because people usually want to buy back the location that they stay because they are so comfortable growing up in the area, and also they want to stay near to their parents to take care of kids and etc. All right, so it's very important. If you have an exit strategy, then this is something for you to consider. And of course, Tampines is a regional center. This is very important, especially for what? Investor. All right, even for homeowners as well. Why? All right, regional center. Okay, in Singapore, you know, our main area is what? The CBD, as we all know. All right, but the government has this vision to decentralize. All right, to decentralize Singapore. They don't want everything to be in a CBD area, to be in Raffles Place, to be in Marina Bay area. They don't want. They want to decentralize. So that's why they came out with this regional center. Right, Jurong Lake District is serving the west area. Woodland Regional Center is serving the north, and Tampines will serve the east. If I break it down into quadrant, you can see that a typical happening in the economic sector, right? Like industrial estate, business park, all right, which is marked as orange, all right, it's more in the what? In the east area. Likewise, for the business node, they are more in the east area. So if today as an investor or as a homeowner, you'll be very rest assured because I'm buying into something that is very closely related to the Singapore economy activity. And Singapore being Singapore, the government will basically pump in money to invest in this region because they want the regional center to work. And if they need, right, they will do a reinvestment to rejuvenate the whole area as well. So as a buyer, as a homeowner, you'll be rest assured that your property price will continue to appreciate because the Singapore government pump in the money for investment. All right. And if you are buying in as an investor, then you do not need to worry about the problem, the issue of renting out, because usually people wants to stay near their workplace. All right. So a lot of industrial business node around the east. All right. So you are no need to worry about renting. Okay. So there's an article on the regional hub last year. All right, Geylang is what we call the city fringe, right? RCR. All right, the rest are all in the OCR region. Jurong East, Punggol, Woodland, and Tampines, they are in the OCR region. So if you can see, right, Tampines is the best performing in the regional hub as well as the OCR region. All right, the average real GDP growth in Singapore for the last 20 years is 5.3. And because we are very closely related to Singapore economic activity, the medium growth price growth for CAGR, medium price growth, is at 4.9% annualized every year for the last 20 years. That's how consistent and that's how good a annualized return it is if you choose to invest in Tampines for the last 20 years. All right. As you can see, it outperformed the rest in OCR and the regional hub. So this is very important thing, because when you want to buy something, you want to make sure that the money works harder for you. And do you know that, in Tampines, who is your minister? Right? This is your minister, Minister Heng. All right. For those who don't know, I don't think anyone who don't know because he's so prominent recently, right? Giving out monies during the budget. All right. So he's our finance minister. He's currently our deputy prime minister, and also rumored prime minister. So if you think that being in a prime minister area is good, probably just reflect Tanjong Pagar growth story where Minister Mentor Lee is there. East Coast Marine Parade when Minister Goh is there, and then Ang Mo Kio as well when PM Lee is there. All right, so I think these are just additional things where you can think about, and of course Minister Heng, come in as an MP in 2011. I'm not too sure whether how familiar are you, but do you know that already in 2014, all right, there's some plans to rejuvenate Tampines as well. All right, under the URA Master Plan 2014, all right, there's this Tampines North Hub. So this is very important because why? When we want to look at investment, we also want to look whether there's still growth story or not, and what are the plans, because typically government change the master plan every 5 years, where they will tell you what are the upcoming plans they are going to go for the next 5, 10, and even 15 years. All right, so you want to know whether you're investing in something got growth story or not, all right, other than just the economic activities. All right, so in 2014, they have these very great plans of building this Tampines North, all right, and this circle, right, it's really very nice because this is the Tampines North Hub. This is how it looks like, all right. And do you know that fast forward 5 years later, all right, already a BTO is completed in 2019, all right, MOP has already started. So you can see this cluster over here, right? It will form your future HDB upgraders, all right? That's why that's the really steady increasing pool of demand in the future if you want to sell it off, all right? Not forgetting that, so 2014 master plan, 5 years later, things got realized. And then what? Do you know that in early January 2019, right, the government announced the Cross Island Line station, right, Tampines North. So if I see, quite soon, so the government already has planned, all right? They built this town, all right? They already have plans to have a MRT built there already, but they don't want to tell you, all right? They don't want to reveal it to you. So step by step, progressively, then they will release information, all right? So if as an early investor, then you will benefit, all right? So Tampines North, All right, they built this, and if you can see, this is where the Tampines North area is. All right, so firstly, government is like this. They will build the HDB first. All right, then slowly, what? They will build EC land. And do you know that under the first half 2020 this year, all right, a new parcel, which is is actually zoned under reserve lease, right? They want to sell it as an EC. And a EC being so close to the MRT, you know that it won't be cheap, am I right? All right, so with all this happening, right, there are still more empty plot of land that's going to be released for sale. And not forgetting that this blue color means it's a mixed development residential. I'm sure it's not going to be a HDB lah. It's going to be a private land, and private land, it won't be cheap. I guess it will be probably the last few lands to be released, correct? So again, there will be price growth because land will increase, and price growth generally will filter down to the region. And Tampines, and Treasure is in Tampines itself already, so definitely it will be benefited. All right, and again, master plan 2014, and in 2019, do you know that they already have additional plan, not just Tampines North. The story never ends. All right, we still have Tampines South. All right, under Tampines South, there are still plans for the next 15 years as well. So you can see, all right, and do you know that SUTD is part of Tampines as well, together with Changi Business Park? All right, so you can see it's really, there are many plans for Tampines. Okay, so under this particular segment that I pull up, if you're very familiar with Tampines, you will know that this circle over here, this blue color is zoned for office, all right? But this is an empty plot of land right now, all right? But this one in future, there will be redevelopment, all right? Yellow means future planning, all right? Red color means hospital. So you can see that there are already plans to rejuvenate, the regional center. All right, Tampines, Treasure at Tampines is over here. All right, in opposite, there's a yellow parcel that's zoned for future planning. And there are many land parcel, all right, still waiting to be developed in the Tampines South, which is in close proximity to Treasure at Tampines. So you can see, right, when the prices increase, definitely Treasure, all right, will be the biggest beneficiary, all right? So there are many plans, upcoming plans for you, all right? Can Tampines continue its 4.9%, all right, CAGR growth, all right? I don't have a crystal ball for you, so I cannot tell you. But at least we know that by investing in Treasure, you are still in the early stage of this growth story, all right? If today, all right, they continue to grow at the same pace as the last 20 years, 4.9, $1 million investment today, come 2040, right? Come year 2040, 20 years later, price at 4.9% annualized growth will means the property price is not 1 million, it's 2.6 million. Can you envision that? All right. Actually, Singapore prices is still considered as cheap among the rest of the other region. All right. Hong Kong on average is already close to 3,000 PSF for those people who don't know. All right, their first tier line, whether is it China or whatever, is already 10,000 PSF. All right, so Singapore is really, even at 1,000, 1,003 for a matter of fact, it's really very affordable. As I already point out to you, that you probably cannot find any other things, elsewhere. You probably have to buy at a higher price in the future because of the upcoming launches that I show you in OCR already. All right. So units are really, very fast. Every time I want to, check, every time the figure units sold. So you need to come in really fast. So today, all right, I want to share with you how I choose a unit. You can also approach back your preeminent group teammates, the agent who have actually invited you, to this seminar where you can actually listen more and know how good is Treasure. All right, so I just want to quickly illustrate a 2+ study because we don't have a 1-bedroom 1+ study already. Very fast. All right, our 2-bedroom also taking out quite fast. So 2+ study, I want to let you know also limited units available. All right, so I want to let you know this. All right, the cheapest, the most affordable unit is 03129. In fact, this particular unit, someone is actually, in fact, one of our ERA teammates is already eyeing on it, and basically we're getting it sold pretty soon. All right. And the other unit I want to point out is, in my opinion, is a star buy unit. Why I say so? All right, 02164. All right, you want to face the pool. Some of you all say, hey, I don't want, Calvin, I don't want to face the street. All right, I don't want to face the sleep pool. I want to face the pool. I want to face inside, because pool in Chinese, water is wealth. All right, so I want to buy at 02164, 950. All right, and why? Because directly opposite you, 0283 is 986. Right, it goes to show that instantly you can save a 36K. So this is very important, and our ERA agent, our PG ERA agent, is basically well equipped to help you shortlist suitable units for you. And our taggers, our preeminent group taggers, will also help you as well. All right, so these are the layout. This is the layout for our 2+ study at 678 square feet. So I want to share with you a little bit more in detail. You see, in Tampines alone, we want to compare with the recent development. All right, Alps Resident and Tapestry. Alps Residence TOP just last year. Tapestry will be completing in the next 1 to 1.5 years, maybe thereabout. All right, so you can see their 2+ study is 689 square feet, whereas Treasure at Tampines is 678 square feet. In fact, Treasure at Tampines is slightly smaller. All right, but you can see, right, it's a 2-bedroom plus 2 bathroom and a study area. Whereas you see Alps and Tapestry is 2-bedroom and 1 bathroom. All right, so you can see almost similar size, in fact smaller. I still can have an additional bathroom inside. Right, so that's very, very thoughtful by the developer. So that's why I said you want to know who is the developer, not just by the tangible things like, their product and things like that, or even the pricing strategy. Why their pricing strategy always work? Right? Because they also identify the gap in the market, right? When you buy a product over here, they will know that in future, there's nothing else that is available except Treasure, all right? So you want to buy a 2-bedroom, 2 bathroom plus study area, you can only get it in Treasure. So that is an additional demand that they help you generate, right? And on top of that, if you realize the kitchen area is actually tucked into one side, all right? What does it mean, right? Today, I can actually enclose the kitchen if I want to. All right, so by enclosing this kitchen, right, it costs about 3,000 to enclose it. All right, so you can see 2-bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1 study, 1 enclosed kitchen. It's like, wow, you cannot easily find in today's new launch market. Really, really. And below 1 million, I think the key thing is below 1 million as well. You probably cannot find anywhere else, honestly. All right, so that's why it's really very hot. It's selling really very hot. And on top of that, if you decide to buy during this peak period, circuit breaker or phase 1, you have this additional discount. All right, so I quickly touch on the financial calculation for you. All right, more details one, you can go ahead and approach your ERA agent. All right, basically 950 minus 4,946. All right, interest rate, I compute, I take a 30-year loan, a maximum 75% bank loan. You can see interest rate currently is very low. All right, typically it's about 1.1 to 1.3. All right, but I a little bit careful, so I put 1.5 for you. All right, so if you put, all right, you can see, all right, when it costs for the foundation work, you only need to pay 164. So that's why I say when you buy a new launch, it's on progressive. So as an investor or as a first-time homeowner, it's not so taxing on you. All right, and in fact, if you are a salaried worker, this amount is easily, payable via your CPF. No problem. You're not going to affect your lifestyle at all. All right, and it will be progressively dispersed. So how much is dispersed, then you pay accordingly. All right, so you can see it's really very little. All right, and the best thing about new launch is that, all right, I think this is like the biggest loophole for investor like myself, because upon key collection, you don't even need to pay 100% to the developer. You only need to pay 85%. All right, so if I based on 85, I withhold the balance 15%, all right, till about 1 year later. Why? Because developer is providing this defect liability period for you. It's like still got warranty, you buy something new, everything new, you don't need to spend money on renovation, developer still give you warranty. And then you pay 85%. So really good deal in my opinion. So once you collect the key, the monthly mortgage estimate will be about 1,964. Of course, when you collect the key, you have a couple of options. You buy in and stay, or you choose to resell it, all right, or you rent it out. So today you say that I don't want to rent it out. I don't want to sell it, all right, and I also don't want to stay. I want to rent it out. Then how much is the rental fee like? All right, so I'll just pull out. You can get it from the URA. This is the source from URA. All right, on an average 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Alps resident, just TOP in a Tampines West area is rented out around 2004 to 2005 on an average basis. All right, the 2-bedroom, 1-bath, then probably is 2003. All right, of course I have transaction around 2007. I don't want to take the extreme. I take on average. So remember, Alps resident is in Tampines West. It's a lot further away from the central area. All right, Treasure is nearer, it's walkable to MRT, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and a study area. So rightfully, it should command a higher rental rate than 2005. Am I right? All right. So let us take another look at another development, which is about 7 to 8 years old. My Manhattan, a lot closer to MRT than Treasure. All right. But if you take a look from the URA source, all right, the 2-bedroom are typically rented out at 2009 to 3002. I have even have this rental figure of 3,000, close to 3,007. I don't want to take that. So basically, it's on an average. All right, on an average, it's around 2009 to 3002. So am I right to say that if Treasure, all right, nearer to the MRT, but not as near to My Manhattan, and this My Manhattan is only 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Treasure is 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and the study area. So I think, am I right to say that we can easily rent out at 2008 to 2009? All right, I think it's only fair, right? But I calculate, I conservatively, I say I don't want to rent out 2008, 2009, okay? I rent out 2005, okay? I just take the Tampines West tenant, I bring it over. I just bring it over, all right? I don't care, I just bring it over, I just rent it out. All right, even renting out at 2005, okay? You minus off the monthly installment, you minus off the maintenance fee, you still have an extra savings of $356 in your pocket, you know? You see how when you rent it out, right, your tenant take care of the apartment for you. Your tenant pay down the interest for you. Your tenant also pay down the principal for you. And then you still got money in your pocket some more. So you see, it's really, in terms of the money-wise, the calculation-wise, everything is really spot on. So that's why I say this developer really, there's a lot of opportunity out there for you if you're thinking as an investment unit or as a home unit. Rental yield easily cross 3%, as you can see. All right. And if today I want to sell it, I don't want to, rent it out. Just based on a 4.9% growth, right? CAGR, right? Probably a 1 million property can sell at 1.154, all right? Based on this, okay? So today, let's say, for example, we don't use 960, 1 million is easier to calculate, right? So 1 million, all right? At the end of 3 years, based on 4.9% growth rate, I can sell it at 1.154, all right? So I minus off my cost price. Remember this 1,035,400, this figure, I got it right from the beginning of my presentation, remember? All right, so I don't need to pay maintenance fee. I don't need to pay property tax. I just need to factor in my average, interest I need to pay for the last 3 years, over the 3 years. So my break-even cost is about 1.035. Yeah, so I take the profit of 1.154. Sorry, I take the selling price of 1.154 minus 1.035. I will get a profit of 118,000. So my return, all right, is 118,000 divided by 1 million is at 11.86. So if I annualize it, on an average basis, 3 years is a 3 to 4% annual growth, annual return. Am I right? No. All right, in my opinion, we should use our return of equity to calculate. All right, because you only come up with 250,000. The balance 750, all right, is you take a loan. Okay, so the interest, the stamp duty is a sunken cost which I already factored in. So you 118,600 divided by 250, your ROE return is 47%. All right, if you annualize it, more than 15%. Okay, So if you ask me, Kelvin, are you very sure that you can sell at 1.154 at the end of 3 years? Right? Maybe not 3 years. How about 4 years? Right? How about 5 years? All right. I think with a lot of storyline and things like that, the growth story, I think there's high chance, even with the rest of the project that was developed, by Simlin previously, you can see the annualized return. All right. So it's not something that I will say that, wow, it's something of a figure that is unachievable. No. All right. This is very achievable. Even at the end of 5 years, when I want to sell it, I will still be probably a ROE of 10% per annum. Right. So it's a very, very kind of like good investment, right, for investor or homeowner. All right. So today, I hope you are very excited. All right, just the last few slides. All right, before I end my today's session, a lot of y'all probably will think that, hey, I don't want to plus study. I want to what? I want to buy for homestay. I need a 3-bedroom. Kelvin, do you have a 3-bedroom? Have. All right, we have a 3-bedroom premium. All right, 07175. Very limited already. I really very hard to find. Like you can see, it's like almost selling finish. So really must act fast. All right, 07175 at 1.343. In fact, we have a show flat video. We have a virtual tour for you to see the unit itself. All right, why this is good? Why I choose 7th floor? All right, is because, all right, it's really very attractive. It's only at 1,300 PSF. Remember the average PSF? You are getting a relatively high floor at below the average price, 1,003 PSF. So it's really very, very attractive. And on top of that, why I choose this, all right? So you can see the area marked blue color is the PIE. So we are actually quite a good distance away, all right? How far, right? I just roughly take a middle point, right? Go to the nearest, right? So it's about 144, about 150. All right, it's a 3 times length, all right, 3 times length of a 50-meter Olympic size, the length pool. So that's how far it is. And then in front of you is unblocked, really. All right, how does it look like? It looks like this, I went out. See, if you are on a 7th floor, you basically clear the greeneries. Wow, really very nice. Below you are all the greeneries. Wow, very far, unblocked, privacy. And because you're facing south, you get to enjoy the south wind as well, the east coast wind, basically. All right, and of course, if you get something lower, you look into the greeneries and you basically have privacy, right? So it's up to you. But again, units are very, very limited. All right, so that is for a 3-bedroom premium. But today you tell me, Kelvin, I don't really have this amount, 1.3, about 1.35. All right, I can propose something for you. I want to show you this 3-bedroom, right? The normal 3-bedroom. If you are buying for investment, or if you're someone who think that, hey, I don't need a utility room, all right, I don't need a yard, I don't need a WC, I don't need a yard WC, and I also don't need an enclosed kitchen. All right, then what happens? You can consider this type C6, which is 915 square feet, about 11 square meter smaller, because the rest of the other room size, it's the same. All right, in fact, you can see, all right, I break down the figures for you. All right, very, very comfortable. You can approach back your ERA agent or the taggers to actually assist you, no problem. All right, if you say, I really need an enclosed kitchen, I can do away with yard, I can do away with utility and the yard WC I don't use one, but I really need an enclosed kitchen, then how? You still can enclose it. I get someone to design, and then you can basically enclose it, just by paying about 9,000, right? You can actually have enclosement of the kitchen. So you can see with this type, the room size, you don't sacrifice. You still have an enclosed kitchen, all right? It's just that you don't need a utility. And the rest of the space here, you can build a storage area if you want to, all right? So it's really depend on how your renovation is. But if you're going to rent it out, then it's very, very economical, right? So 3-bedroom, all right, same thing. All right, just now I was saying 3-bedroom premium is at 1.343 at 1,003 PSF. Right, for a 3-bedroom without utility and without yard, okay, and without yard WC, all right, you can get it at below 1.2 million. All right, still at a very, very attractive of 1,003 PSF. So that's the reason why a lot facing there are all kind of like fully sold. Yeah, so you have to really, really act fast. All right, units are very limited. In fact, before I want to talk to you, I wanted to propose 07170. It was sold already, so I have to propose 175 for you. All right, so that's how fast this unit is selling. All right, so to summarize today's session is that basically why you should seriously consider buying Treasure at Tampines is because of the low entry price. And even if you buy in at the if you buy in as an investment, the maintenance fee is really, really very low, and you enjoy such a wide facilities, and then the transportation and the amenities is so convenient. Okay, and you have a 1 year free shuttle bus service. You even are participating in the growth story of Tampines. All right, being in the being in the regional hub. All right, and being in the upcoming possibly minister area. I think that's a lot of opportunity out there. All right, so please, I hope you should be very interested. You should start to zoom in a lot more. Good news is that we have virtual tour. Show flat unfortunately are closed. We cannot let you see the show flat, but the virtual tours are still available. So please speak to the agent that invited you. Taggers are on standby for you as well. All right, so you can view the virtual tour. All right, so for you to see how spacious the whole development, the unit that you're buying are. All right, in fact, if you got a budget of buying a 5-bedroom, then you also can seriously consider 1722 square feet. Really cannot find in the market. Are very, very rare. All right, so lastly, to end it off, all right, in order to win in property investment, you really need to begin. All right, the journey starts from a single step. All right, and the secret of getting ahead is to get started as young as possible. All right, why? Because the younger you invest in, all right, you have a longer loan duration. If not, the loan duration gets shorter. You need to pay a higher monthly installment, and not just that, you need to come in as early as possible. Otherwise, all the choice you need will be gone. All right, all the choice you need will be gone by then already. So really, you really need to start if you are really very interested. All right, so that's all for today. I really would like to thank you for your listening in the last 1.5 hours. I will then now take on any Q&A. All right.